Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s. And
Yes.
it's hard. It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women.
All the moms, 40, 20, night. It's not really the night.
And also, let's just talk about real shit. Real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also, it's funny.
They don't. Let me just pull my bush out of my bush.
Cheers.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mature-ish Mamas, Life Unfiltered. And welcome
We're here.
to Mature-ish Moms. we practice that. So, hey guys.
It'll just get better and better.
Oh my gosh. I am so freaking excited to do this adventure with you, Megan.
I am too, Kelly. I'm so excited.
Oh man, we have been doing our own podcast for just ourselves for about a year and a half, aka talking about life.
Yep. Just podcasting without recording it
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
But
we didn't have the mics, we didn't have the headphones, so we just decided we'd speak with ourselves a lot. Yeah. And we're still learning. We're learning how to touch buttons and what to do. You know, like we know how to do this now.
it's fun. I feel like we're going to use that one quite a bit. That's going to be a fun one.
Probably. We don't have to hear your chirping. We can chirp ourselves, you guys.
Yeah.
So Mature-ish Mamas is coming to you in 2025. We're excited to talk about being not just moms, but old ass moms.
Yeah. Mature-ish mamas. Old ass moms.
Yeah. And in the best of ways, because we both have preschoolers in our 40s. We've had babies in our 40s. And if you popped a baby out of your JJ in your 40s, you know it's different.
It's fun.
It's great. We're geriatric.
Geriatric.
And we thought geriatric mamas was kind of a weird podcast name.
Yeah. It just doesn't flow quite as nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, technically, we're not geriatric. Could it get any more? What's the word I'm looking for there?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel it.
Uh-huh.
And it couldn't get any more. No more than that. But here's the thing, right? Like now we're advanced maternal age mothers.
Yeah.
Which we had a combo. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's the worst. Call me geriatric every day. Call me Jerry for short. Don't
Jerry,
call me advanced maternal age mom.
No, that's way too serious.
Yeah.
First of all, way too serious.
We're way too mature-ish.
Yeah.
We're way too ish for that.
We're way too ish. We're more on the ish side for advanced maternal age. Yeah, come on. Geriatric all day.
Yeah. So we're just a couple geriatric moms, and we want to talk about motherhood and that because it's funny. And
it's funny and it's hard and it's interesting and it needs to be shared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's fun to share with everybody, for all of us to share together about it, because there's so many things that are the same and so many things that are different. And we just want to bring all of that together.
And for you guys to feel maybe a little bit more normal, a little bit more seen, heard, felt, because and this isn't just for our Jerry moms.
Nope.
Coin term, ain't just for our Jerry moms, which by the way is for all of you who have had babies at 35 and older.
35.
Yeah. So it's not like, and it's not like this is uncommon. We looked up some stats. 46% of the women are having babies between 30 and 40.
Yeah. Like 1 in 4, basically. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot.
So we are a common tribe.
We are
of Jerry moms.
Jerry mom tribe.
Yeah. And it's not just about that. I'm also a young hip mom because I have a 20 and 18-year-old. So they still think that I'm young and hip because
to them you are.
Yeah.
Because you are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Not just to them, but you are, Cal. You are young and hip and vibing, and look at those pink pants. I mean, come on, get on this.
My pink parachute pants. I didn't even go to dance class today and I'm still wearing them. I might dance later though. Around the kitchen.
Yes, you will.
I'll tell you this, this is gonna be probably your biggest takeaway of this conversation. When you go to dance class and you wear baggy ass clothes, you can move all sorts of funky ways and people think you're doing it right, but you're not because everything's just moving everywhere. So the baggier the clothes, you watch dancers, the baggier the clothes, the better you
The
look.
cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you throw some high tops into the mix, then you kind of just feel like you could do like a toe spin or something. I don't even know what that means, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think we could figure it out.
Yeah.
That's very visual for us. Thanks, Counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, this is an amazing adventure that we've been sharing with each other for a while,
Mhm.
and thought it would be fun to share with everyone else. And just we've talked about it in the past where one thing that we feel like is really lacking in the world right now is community for women, community for moms, and we just wanted to bring a space for that to start happening
Yeah.
for each other, for our friends that are going through it too, who also maybe aren't, geriatric preschool mamas, but also have children who are, elementary school, high school, even a lot of my friends' kids are going to college right
Yeah.
now.
You're
And
empty nesters.
yeah, but you
Mhm.
still have space that you need um, places to vent and friends to talk about things with and go through things with and
Just the
get a
support.
community going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And you think about women in general, and I don't know for the love of me why this is categorized this way, but it's just the truth now. And I hope it not to be the truth someday. But we
yeah.
are so full of worry
Mhm.
that we're not enough, we're not good enough parents, we're not good enough wives, we're not enough for whatever, which ends up muting our greatness. So many of us
Yeah.
step into life from a space of worry or fear or judgment, and because of that, we dim our light, and the world needs all of our freaking light. So
Absolutely.
if we could encourage throughout the base of this show, some of you guys to realize how freaking awesome you
Yeah.
are.
Step into
Yeah.
that light big time.
Yeah. Your individuality and how
Mhm.
beautiful your soul is, and how the more that you embrace yourself without that fear of judgment, and knowing that like we're all we're all individuals, and that's what's so freaking cool
Yeah.
about it. And
Yeah.
when you can embrace that, then you step into the world and you get to shine in a different way that will change the world, even if you have a small little circle. But
Yeah.
you know,
You're right. Yeah, and you'll learn, or what I'm coming to learn, what we're coming to learn is when you do that, when you show up, you are made to be this one person in this one world. And people, we need that. I need you
yeah.
and I need you, who you are and how you show up and what you do. So for me to be able to have a space to do that as well and feel so comfortable just to be me and know that I am um, being celebrated for me, not for
Hmm.
being a mom, not for being a wife, but for being Megs.
Yeah.
And then that bleeds into all this other beautiful, you're watering all the other flowers then in your life,
Hmm.
including your children, including your spouse, your friends, just everybody. So we're going to lead by example, and you guys will see how effing crazy we are.
What do you mean? What are those pigtails you're wearing
Yeah,
today? Yep.
yeah,
I
uh-huh.
look like a bear. I look like an
You
animal.
look like a cute little
Oh,
koala bear or
I hope you
something with
guys
your
have
pink.
video, because if you don't, you're missing out on something
I
glorious. We are a
know.
fucking mess.
I know, in the best way possible. Messes are great.
They
Messes
are.
are inevitable, and they're daily,
Yeah.
and they are part of life. So,
I don't know about you, but in my mature-ish motherhood, what I tend to do in times of mess and turmoil
mhm,
is I like to pause and take a picture. I don't, are
I
you
love this.
like?
I love
And
this.
I don't know if my young mom self back in the day would be like, "Ooh, shit, the kids just took an entire
Yeah.
tub of $50 protein and poured it on the kitchen floor,"
Oh my
right? And
gosh,
and I,
yeah.
maybe I'd blow up, but
Mhm.
now I'm like, hold it, 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 don't move, don't move, don't move. Let me get my camera
Uh-huh. Yep.
and I'm gonna take some pictures, and I'm gonna maybe do a short little video,
Perfect.
and then we'll just like scoop up as much off the top that didn't touch the floor, and then
Yeah,
I'll let
yeah.
you lick the floor
Uh-huh.
until you've had enough protein and you feel good about it, because that's
Right.
that's a real thing that's happened in the last few months.
That's awesome. Protein builds muscles.
It does.
Doesn't matter if it's in a cup or off the floor.
It doesn't matter,
Doesn't
and
matter.
we're
Protein's protein.
we're building immunities right now, so why not?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. Why not? And that's so beautiful. I love that you want to stop and take a picture of that Because just like we're saying, that is life. That is
Mhm.
real life. And that is so normal. And that is so normal.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I think we kind of got, as a society, pulled into perfection because of social media and people posting just what their highlights are of the, their day, their life, the best parts of what they see. So then you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, you kind of have to like live in this perfect little world,
Mhm.
or you don't want to share those spaces with people because it's not what normally you see online or whatever. But
Right.
it is real. It's real life. It's what's happening, and we're going to share it. We're going to share those times.
Well, and we want you guys, again, like the seen and heard, like to
Mhm.
know that those things are normal and that we don't
Yeah.
have to run and hide our mess. Like
Oh,
like we learn from our mess ups, but like trying to hide your mess in your world. And I got to say this right in the beginning. That doesn't mean that I'm going to like dive into every mess of my life and like try to like infiltrate your guide. Like, oh, woe is me. Everything's bad. But like, I'm going to address the fact that, yeah, my youngest kid has a cancer and a rare disease. And yeah, we sometimes people want to do podcasts with us. That's the way. We have a lot of cords here. Guys, this is
hi.
Caston.
Say hi.
Caston Cruz, say hi to everybody. Maggie, introduce our little guy.
This is my little boy. This is my reason for being a Jerry mama. His name's Caston, and he's going to be 3 in 1 month.
Oh, big boy. That's so cool. And he gets to play with his cousins today.
I know. You're here with Quincy and Waitin.
Are you guys playing?
Okay, I love you so much.
See you in a minute.
Love you. Bye.
Point in case, you guys. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, you know what I'll do? I'll just put myself on do not disturb real quick too,
Oh,
so I
good
don't
idea,
add
good
anything else
idea.
to the list.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I know.
But I think just what I was going with that is that being able to be authentic. Okay. Okay. So turn around so you can say hi. No, to the people.
Look.
They're watching today. This is Whit and John. He's my little chemo baby. He is 4 years old.
Survivor.
Yeah, my little survivor. And he is just the coolest little soul. He's so fun to play with. Hey, will you play with Daddy for a little bit because he misses you?
Okay, ready to go?
I think when we have a door handle, that's going to be supportive.
But we don't right now because that's mess. That's life.
That's our life.
We don't have a door handle at this moment.
We just, it's because we redid the house 3 months ago and it's taking us that long to return handles.
Yeah.
Even the bathroom.
The doors. Yeah.
Yeah. People come over for occasions. It's New Year's Eve. Or like, so if you want to pee with the door closed, I'd go downstairs. Yeah. Otherwise, just it's a free for all.
Yeah. Or otherwise, people can just look real quick and see if there's someone in there. Look at that. That's just real life.
There's been a part of us that's like, how are you going to do this when you have 3 children who are at home and husbands that work? And we don't know the answer yet. We don't have all the answers, you guys.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're working on it though. And any answers we do have, we'll just pass them along.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, as far as messes go, I do like how you were saying, it's not all about like diving into your mess. So that's another thing that we're really just trying to focus on is life is messy, literally, figuratively, emotionally, like all kinds of stuff that happens in life. But it really is our choice on where we go with that mess, what we do with that mess, where we take that mess, how we're going to process that mess, because that's just going to keep happening. So we're really learning that you choose everything in your life, but especially the joy, especially choosing joy throughout just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even not just messes. Sometimes you just got to wake up and choose joy just because you woke up.
Do you know that one of the first books that I was working on, because I like to start books and not finish them. We'll work through that this year, but it was Choose Happy.
Oh,
like, so there, yeah, because it's a consistent choice that we have to make, that we get to make if we really want to have it, experience happiness. And so many people are caught up in choosing other things and they don't think that they're even choosing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They don't realize that it's a choice. They are just kind of letting it happen to them.
In reaction mode.
Yeah.
And then the recognition of whatever you practice, the way in which you practice being and reacting is the way that it's naturally going to show up in your life. So if I was in a certain state, let's take the protein powder.
Yeah.
That's just a silly example.
Yeah. Okay.
There's going to be one mom who's going to see the protein powder and instantly the reaction is going to be, anger and yelling and abrasiveness and aggression. And also I'm not like, hey, Witten, you want to throw some more protein
Right.
around on the floor? And in there, so that we have a conversation about that. But me choosing patience in that moment and to find the joy in the mess. And that's what it's all about, right? Finding the joy in the messes.
Finding the joy in the messes.
And one of the biggest things I think that through our last couple years when my son was diagnosed, my ability to show up and still be in a space of gratitude.
Mhm.
I don't want to say complete joy, but like
No.
still in a space of gratitude, which brought a sense of happiness to our family, was because it was a practice that has been a part of my life. And when I met Megs, okay, we're cousins. We've been met for a long time.
We've we've been met for a long time, but
Like, I, like, look at the pictures from, like, Christmas and
I
holidays when
know.
we were just little
Little
monkeys.
I know,
But
the little children
so cute.
with our teddy bears and
Yeah.
our grandmas.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
but
since we started hanging out again, we didn't really, like, know what type of humans we were with, and I remember specifically, Megs, we were out and the kids were jumping on the tramp, and I think I mentioned something, it must have been a year ago, like, this time, something about a one word or something about personal development
Mhm.
or something about personal growth, and I wasn't sure what your take, we never talked about any of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you were just, like, right on board, had contribution, were doing your own things, and my heart was like, "Oh," like, this is this is one of my humans
I know.
that wants to be in this space. So I think that's another reason why us getting together and doing this type of conversation with you guys is because we do we do choose joy. I've seen you
Yes.
choose joy over and over.
Yeah, yeah, and, um, I want you to know, like, it's not an easy thing to start doing. It's just not, especially when you haven't lived that way most of your life, or you haven't thought about it in that context where it's like, "Oh, I can choose to be happy in whatever space you're living in at the moment." It's not an easy practice. So that's why we want to also talk about that, and especially in motherhood, because like I said, what you're doing inside of you is spilling over and watering the flowers that are around you, which are daily your children
Mhm.
and your spouse most of the time, if you're in a relationship like that. So, and that is your life. That your day to day, your wake up, whatever goes and then go to bed, that is your life.
Mm.
So you really do have to choose to want to live a good life in the way of waking up and saying, this is who I'm going to be today. This
Yep.
is how I'm going to show up for myself, first of all, and then for everyone else with me. So, um, yeah, we're going to continue to try and do that with each other and help in any way we can with you guys to show you how to do that as well. But
And to me, when you're talking about that, Megs, it really does, it reminds me of what ultimate self-love is.
mm,
In some of my programs, we've had different chapters or things where we're like intentional focus on self-love. And I don't know, initially when I think of self-love, I think bubble bath,
right, like self-care.
spa day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Time alone,
Yeah,
which are all beautiful
they
things.
are, and necessary
Yeah,
things.
absolutely. But ultimate self-love is really giving yourself the opportunity to choose joy and happiness through gratitude, no matter what's going on in your world.
Mhm.
Whether you're in a good chapter, a positive chapter, a forward moving chapter, or you're in a chapter right now that's just kicking your ass. Like you might
Mhm.
be listening right now and be like, you guys, you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah,
We see you and we feel that. And we know that life gives us these dark, challenging chapters. And that's,
yeah,
that's the way that it's going to be. That is the way of the world. But even in that, there is space for gratitude, which will bring a different sense of positivity and being.
yeah, it's just a new perspective on life and when you are in those deep, dark moments because we have had our own deep, dark moments,
Yeah.
and so it's not that our life is perfect and that we just are like, "Oh, everything's rainbows and sunshine all the time," because that's just not true.
Can I tell you this? Because this is so funny. That's been most people's perspective of me
Sure.
for a long time. And I've always had a very, or I've always tried my best to have a very positive perspective, outlook, and share. And I've had multiple people who have like called me out on that. Well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, like in my face, like they were like angry with me about it.
Mhm.
And when Witten was diagnosed, I had multiple people send me messages just saying that they didn't think that I would do it. They didn't think that I could continue to nurture my baby through 58 chemo treatments in and out of the
Yeah.
hospital for a couple years, not knowing what was going to happen next, and still show up with a positive presence in the world. And then me doing that.
Mhm.
And so it's like I understand it's not all rainbow and sunshines, but like that's one of the hardest and darkest times I've ever been through. And still with
Yeah.
that, choosing choosing to shift my own perspective so I could focus on the joys of motherhood and my role, and acknowledge that chapters change and that grace is on my side when I give myself grace, and that
Mhm.
nobody else gets to do that. We get to do that for ourselves. And it was a neat thing to watch people watch me wondering. It's like, oh, so it's finally something bad. Like
Mhm.
before that, there were some different comments where people like, oh man, I'm just, I'm sorry that's happening to you, but I'm also kind of happy just to see what it's like when you're knocked down.
Wow.
Yeah, and that
That's
wasn't for
interesting.
the cancer example, but like some
Uh-huh.
other things that were
Sure.
challenging my life. I was like, can you imagine wanting to watch someone get knocked down so you could see if they were actually happy or how they would show up? Like,
Yeah.
what? It feels weird in
Yeah.
my body.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I was like, gosh, ouch. That feels hurt. Ouch. But also, thank you for the challenge.
Yeah.
And I hope that in some way that was inspiring for them
Mhm.
instead, because, you know, ouch. That's I'm like, gosh, that's but unfortunately, I feel pretty common, you
Yeah.
know? I don't know. I don't know why that happens, but it is a common thing, I think, for people, or maybe they just I don't know. They're trying to
Mute their own pain sometimes.
yeah,
Hurt people
yeah,
want to be with hurt people and want to hurt
yeah.
people.
Miseries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loves the company.
It loves the company.
And
Yeah.
even if that wasn't the intention or the space that these people were in, because it was multiple, I
Yeah.
think it was just uh my obnoxious amount of joy that I like to spew into the world, where some people like they're like, I cannot be around me for too long because it's just whoa, you can for some reason. You have a special ability because you the
I
same
love it,
age, girl.
but I love it. It just feeds that
Yeah.
little inside, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's just fanning that flame
Yeah.
inside of me that I just need to keep going sometimes.
Oh,
So,
we want to fan your flame. I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You guys feel better already?
Yep.
Did your flame just spark up a little bit for
Just
life?
yeah, stoking it. We're gonna stoke that flame for you.
It's what we're here for.
That's why we're here.
Um,
One of the
what
reasons.
what would be makes one of the examples for you of your like something hard
Mm.
and you had to embrace a perspective shift?
Oh man, there's been a couple moments in my life. But just for motherhood's sake, I would say one of the hardest things that I had to go through as a mom was just directly after I gave birth. I did have a little hard time with some postpartum issues that I obviously those are things that you just don't know until it happens, until you're starting to go through something like that. And then again, because of whatever societal things that we have done for women, you feel so alone and you don't even know where to start or who to
Mhm.
talk to or what to say. And even if you bring it up with a doctor, they're like, oh, give it a couple weeks or, you're going to start, it's fine. It's fine. It's been 6 weeks. You can start having sex again. And I'm like, oh, what?
Hard pass. Hard pass on the hard
Like,
pass.
what? I'm also, just reeling at 2 in the morning when my child is up crying, like, I don't even know if I can get through this day, but yeah, let me start banging my husband again.
That ought to make me feel better. Everything feels great down
Get
there.
r
It's just a couple
yeah,
stitches.
just a
They're
couple
all
stitch it yeah,
everything's fixed on
right?
up. It's
Just
bigger
hop
than it's
back up
ever
on that
been.
horse.
That is what she said.
Yeah. That hoss.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, so that was pretty rough, and that was very isolating,
Mhm.
and also because I am a geriatric mama,
Mhm.
I felt a little bit more isolated than maybe not, I don't know, I can't say if that's true or not, but because I didn't have immediate friends going through exactly or recently
Mhm.
what I had been going through or what I was going through, that was pretty hard. So, that took some real internal reflection and also just doing it, just waking up and doing it and getting through that day. Also, your kids, my son brought a lot of joy to
Mhm.
me, and that also helped a lot. So, I mean, as a mom, that was one thing that was real hard that I did have to start saying, I need to choose how I'm going to be today. I got to choose how I'm going to show up. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally on I'm close to the edge
Yeah.
most of the time.
Right.
Also your marriage changes in ways that you don't understand
'Cause of the
until,
horse
yeah, because of that house.
getting on the house.
That you just don't know once you have a child, like, all of a sudden, things change. Even as a person, my perspective on the world changed,
Mhm.
like, how all of that is just it really does flip upside down, inside out, all the ways. Yeah, stitched up, ripped up, like, it just changes.
Banged out.
Banged out, spread wide open, like,
Talk about humility,
yeah.
learning some humility.
No kidding, and trying to really be acceptive of you
Yeah.
as a person, as a mom, as your body, as all the things that
Yeah.
you have to really look in the mirror and say, "I'm gonna be okay with this."
Damn, motherhood really is humility, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like and I know that
Yeah,
there's a lot
that's
of different
awesome.
lessons, but I've never really thought about that. And it starts from the second you're pregnant and they're like, you know what, let's do an ultrasound. Let's do an internal one. I'm gonna stick
Whoop.
this right in there and
Yep.
take some pictures of your
Just
inside
put your legs like
in the
this.
strip. Who wants to be in the
Come on in.
when we were pregnant with Quincy, I had a 10-year-old or 12-year-old and 14-year-old, I don't know, older kids. And we all went to the doctor on my daughter's birthday, her 16th birthday. We all went in there. And I'm just like, you guys might want to turn the other way, legs up, get that baby in there. Let's see my lima bean. Like humility from the moment
Mhm.
you are made into a mother. And
Mhm.
then, by the end of it, you're just like, you walk in, you straddle them. You're like, what do you want to see? Where do you
Yeah.
want to get in there?
Yeah, yeah. Can you bring the mirror around again so I can
Just I want to check out what's going on.
Oh, you're teaching today? Yeah, let all those kids come in. All
Come on.
those students, come on in.
I may or may
Like,
not have had 3 children there when I delivered Quincy.
oh.
Kinsey, Jace, and Kinsey's best friend at the time, Olivia.
And then didn't you 'cause, Witten was a 2020 or a COVID
Yeah,
baby,
he was
right?
yep.
So no one could be there, so you video streamed it for your family.
I zoomed it. I zoomed my delivery. The doctor was like, "This is different." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool,
Yeah,
right? Like, let's just hold on,
yeah,
another contraction's
right?
coming. Let me just." And then
Mhm.
like 2.5 hours later, my family's like, "We're getting pretty tired. The baby coming yet?" I'm like, "You know what? I'm getting pretty fucking tired
Right,
too.
yeah, right?
I
Yeah.
too am
Thanks
tired.
for asking, but
Love this.
yeah.
I know it's 1 a.m. for you. That must be really hard for you. Are you pushing a
Yeah,
baby out of your
yeah,
vagina
right?
right
Are you
now?
having contractions every
Oh,
couple minutes?
you
And then
don't no epidural, no nothing. You're just gonna push the baby. Okay.
yeah, but you're tired.
Oh,
Are you hungry too? Oh, let me get up and make you something.
when I had Quincy, I was like, I'm gonna go to the hospital last minute because it just sucks to labor, especially when you're not getting an epidural or anything. Like it just
Yeah,
sucks in the hospital
yeah,
after having 2 babies. So I'm I don't know, for those of you who have not had babies yet, just take it with a grain of salt. But you go
yeah.
through this transition, usually around 7 centimeters, where your body like loses all its shit. So a lot of times you're like, did you do this?
Oh,
Did you have like a shit and barfs?
nope.
Oh, nice.
Mm-mm. I don't well, mine was different though, because I was induced
Yeah. Okay.
and I had an epidural. So,
So it's different. Yeah.
yeah. But we could yeah, that's why
All the different
it's
individual.
all the different all the
Yeah.
same that we're all gonna talk about.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different options.
There are, which is wonderful. So not me. I'm transitioning 7 centimeters at home,
Mhm.
and I don't really know that yet, except for when I start to like lose everything. And then John's like, hey babe, I think we might want to go to the hospital soon. I know that I'm not quite 4 minutes apart with my contractions, but he's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm hungry. Can we order a pizza first? I was like, why not? And then literally I was like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, maybe I'll just have the pizza guy take me to the hospital after he drops me.
Are you are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. I want some pizza before you go push that baby out. Oh dear gosh
Oh
darn. We
man.
we get in the car and John's like, another contraction's coming in 5, 4, 3. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I know the contraction's coming. Dipweed. And he's so proud of himself.
For timing it and
Yeah.
knowing he's like, I'm on
I'm
this journey with you,
yeah.
babe.
Are you are
Yeah,
you?
right. Oh, you got a contraction coming. Are you ready? You ready? Bear down.
I know we're still in the car as he's eating his pizza, scarfing down. I'm like feet up on the dash.
Oh cow.
It's fine. That's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
I actually don't even know what delivery that was, but that's so humility, motherhood,
Humility.
motherhood and humility. And I
Yeah.
love so you were sharing about a difficult time and how you got to choose to see whatever joy and light you
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
even when shit was real fucking hard.
Real hard. Where I didn't even know what was up sometimes. But yeah. But yes, I did start to intentionally choose. Like it was not easy to do that. Like it wasn't easy. And I didn't do it well all the
Mhm.
time. I really didn't. There were days where I just didn't do it. And um yeah, and then on top of doing all that, and then you're just learning how to be a mom because no matter what, I pushed my boy out when I was 41 years old. And I'm the oldest of 7 kids. Like I'm around children. I did pediatric dentistry for years and years and years. Been around children all my life. And you think, okay, yeah, I got this, no big deal. But you don't. You
Ye
don't know until you know. And so I was also learning how to be a mom, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's about choices always.
Yeah.
And it's about practice, like you were saying. The practice of it is really the key
Mhm.
to it becoming who you are instead of it being a choice. Because like we said before, you don't know you're choosing sometimes. And especially, I feel like lately in the world that we live in, it is easy to wake up and be a victim and be scared and angry and not, know a lot of things.
Mhm.
So it's even more so a good time to start trying and testing out your intentional emotional state.
Intentional emotional state. That says
Yeah.
everything right there.
Mm.
Like it really is. And I think about when I was right out, we didn't know what we were in for when we went to the hospital with Witten. We thought we were just doing a little test and we were going to get some medication and go home.
Gosh.
And when I realized that we were a children's hospital family and I got back into the elevator, I don't know, because then you're in like that same thing with you. You're in this like autopilot mode where you're
Mhm.
just like zoning out and you're in this like state of survival. And still I had already done journaling. I had said thank you over and over again. I had done a live video where I prayed and gave my thanks and gave myself to my faith. And I'm looking around the elevator at these other parents. You always knew because they had the orange band. That means that you
Mm.
were like they're staying for a procedure or for something bigger. It wasn't just an appointment. And just seeing the complete and utter fear and
Mm.
loss of self that these parents were experiencing because having a hurt baby hurts a lot.
No
And
kidding.
my body was just like, I don't know how I would be surviving right now if I hadn't been practicing gratitude and positivity and the things a lot of the things we're going to share with you guys about on our different episodes. This way of being, because I was still a fucking mess and I had been practicing so hard. And I'm just like, what? I just wanted to wrap my arms around them. And then I wanted to give every single one of them my programs that we were running. Like, I'm just like, please just like take this, but they're already in it. And when you're in it, it's really hard to crawl yourself out if you've never practiced crawling.
Yeah. No kidding.
You
Yeah.
don't know how.
Yeah.
So,
You really, that's it. You just don't know how.
mm-mm.
You don't have the tools to do that for yourself. And then to be, I think, especially as a parent, when it's not happening to you,
Mhm.
but it's happening to the heart that lives outside of your body.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
the empathy for our kids.
Yeah.
Have you listening to your story, have you ever heard of and I was trying to look it up before I was not distracted. I was like, "Okay, what is her name? I want to give her like the recognition she deserves." It's Lindsay, I think.
Okay.
Something. Find her on TikTok.
Yeah.
Just look up Lindsay on TikTok.
Okay.
You'll probably find
Lindsay
it.
on TikTok.
But actually, if you look up Get My Pink Back, I think.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Right? So well, you tell, so you tell.
Well, no, I was just going to have a connection with
Yeah.
that. So I have always loved flamingos. Just that's my animal.
Yeah.
And so, and I mean, there were lots of reasons why. I mean, I just like them.
You are
You know how you connect with something.
okay. So I see it now.
Yeah.
Flamingo.
Did you see my little flamingo?
Oh, I should have known that.
I have a tattoo. I would show you, but I don't bend that way yet.
Working on it.
I'm working on it.
Humility.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always had a connection to flamingos. I feel like we kind of all like have an animal at some point that you just like get. And you know, they say spirit animals or whatever, but I just love flamingos. I
Yeah.
love that they're pink and they're pretty. And um, and I didn't know until that lady why they're pink and what happens. So flamingos give birth. After they give birth, the mommy flamingo loses her pink when she gives birth because it's so hard. It's just a really
Sucks
hard.
the ever loving freaking pink out of her.
Yeah, yeah. And so it takes a little while for her to get her pink back.
Yeah.
But she does.
And she has this whole brand of clothing. You guys go check it out.
It's so cool. I love it.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
but that just completely reminded me because you have so much pink, but I could see where you'd be in that state and just so lonely.
Yeah, you're just drained.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're drained. It just drains you of your pink.
Yeah.
But you know what's beautiful about that? The way that I can see it right now at being on this side of all of that is, you know what? It maybe isn't just draining your pink, but it's like a whole new birth of a person. And so you have to shed that old person, that old Maggie.
So yeah, she's not talking about the baby, you guys. She's talking about her own person.
As me, as a person, as the flamingo who gave birth, you have to shed that, let that old Maggie go and be brought to new with our mama Maggie. And our mama cow and our mature-ish mamas.
Our mature-ish mamas. I learn a lot from movies, especially like kids movies and stuff. They always have these like really cool hidden meanings.
Yeah.
And I never remember the names of them, so it's not supportive. But there's one where it's a younger girl and she had a baby and the mom was talking to her because she was in that stage. She was going through that. And she's like, you know what, honey, like one thing that people don't tend to talk about is that when you have a baby, because you don't want to pull away from the pure joy and love, and you never knew you could love that big, but also you're mourning your own life. Your previous chapter will no longer be. And I don't care how cool of a parent you are and you travel the world with your baby and nothing changes for you. That's not true. Nothing. It's absolutely a new chapter, and change is damn hard. And no matter what, even if it's something that wasn't serving us in the past, I think we all mourn when we step into a new chapter.
Yeah.
As beautiful as the next chapter may be.
Yeah.
Change is difficult.
Yeah. And that's okay. It's okay to mourn your old self. That is something that needs to be talked about more. Like it's okay to be sad about changing. And in some ways it almost feels like not even a choice. You know, it's like, usually when I change my life or I get to have a new thing or whatever, it's because you're choosing that. And you are choosing that. Obviously, you're having a child or whatever, but you don't get to choose the change that you feel inside. And it's okay to mourn that. And in some ways, I find myself still mourning pieces as things continue to change. And it's totally okay to do that and be in that space and say, oh, well, yeah, that's different.
So in the word mourning, because mourn sounds very much so like when you were talking about choosing and being in something, like that Eeyore syndrome, where it's like, I'm going to choose to be down about this. That's not really, the mourning is in the recognition of your emotions that's hard. And you get to talk about with yourself like that was hard. That is hard. But also, where do I want to focus? How long do I want to stay in this? Whatever it is.
Yeah, I love that you said it's the recognition of it, because that's a good space, because it's not consuming. It's just saying, oh, I see that. I do recognize that is different. And yeah, bummer. But also, what are you choosing to do? How are you going to choose to show up like you were saying? That's like the perfect way to do it. And I think it's important to recognize those changes in your emotions
Mhm.
and also to recognize that choosing gratitude doesn't mean that you're always happy.
Right.
And that's a very clear distinction that I think you need to just have in your mind as well. Like, it doesn't mean that we have toxic positivity.
We'll try our damnedest.
Yeah, it's like we're not the Stepford wives, like
Yeah.
nothing is good, everything's fine all the time. No, no, no. It's like, yeah, I can still have gratitude
Mhm.
in the moment that they're putting a port into my son's chest. You know,
Right.
like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry because just from saying that, Kelly, I don't even. But so to show up in that way, that's like where we're, I guess the baseline of what we're trying to say is just to choose to show up and maybe not always enjoy, like you said, but in
Yeah.
gratitude, I think is a really great place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to, as we just embark on this journey with you guys, support you in sharing about our real lives and the real things. As you can see just from today's episode, that we we will continuously, and sometimes maybe begrudgingly, and maybe it's going to be real and hard,
Yeah.
but we're going to continue to support you in doing everything that you can do to choose joy in your womanhood, your motherhood, your friendships, your relationships. And hopefully, as we do that, more of us can have more positive conversations with each other, more supportive conversations with each other, support one another, not to get lost in the wallow, to get lost in the, what's the word we just used? Just now.
Morning.
In the morning. It's been a while since.
Or the evening or in the night.
Any of the times.
Any of the times.
But yeah, not allow, but like to support each other to move through those emotions and recognize all of the fucking bliss that's all around us. An unbelievable amount that we get to choose to be grateful for and happy for. And then I think full circle to the beginning of the conversation, supporting you guys as best as we can to embrace your brightest and lightest self so that you can shine into the world. That's really what we want to do here.
Yeah. Yep. We're just going to embrace the light and stoke your flame. We're going to stoke your flame.
Now that you guys know when we're you're going to know.
That's what that's meaning.
Some people aren't going to know. You're going to know. Okay, keep going.
And then tell them to go watch this episode. Start from the beginning. Yeah. And then they'll know too. And then we can all just start blowing each other.
A good community of women blows each other. That just went south. What?
Yeah. Get your pink back t-shirts. Nope. Ours is going to say a good community of women blows each other.
So like hotcakes. Screw the podcast. We're
merch only.
There was one episode and then they just started making merch.
And then it's over. And then these women start, like, they walk up and blow in each other's faces. Like, what the?
You better brush. If you're not brushing, I don't want to be blowed. My fire don't want to be stoked.
Without no Colgate. Yep.
That's a good turn.
So yeah, things got a real serious there for a little bit, but this is actually a little bit more normal how we act.
Pace. Yeah. Here, we're back. It's Megs and Kat.
Oh, yeah. I had an out-of-body experience
that
for
was
a minute.
Way too mature. Let's get back to the ish.
We'll get back to the ish. Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember what we were talking about. It's all you.
Well, we are here to be the light, spread the light. And also, we want to become part of your community. And we want you guys to start being a part of each other's community by sharing, by commenting. Let us know. We're going to be here. We're going to read these things. We want to talk about the things you guys want to talk about, along with a lot of other crazy shit that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
So just start here. If this is your start to your community, bring your friends, bring your moms, bring your girlfriends.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have? Do you have kids? How old were you when you had them? Like, start sharing, because I have seen, like, Megan, the number of people that I have seen develop true, deep relationships from a platform like this, where they chose to allow themselves to be seen and embrace themselves and have the confident, ordinance, either way, confident, to push the comment button and just be like, you know what, this isn't usually me. I want to hide. I'm just the voyeur of all things, watching everybody on social media. I'm going to say, hey, my name's Callie and I have 4 babies and I finished there.
Yep. And I'm Megs and I have 1. And we just want you to comment too, because we're going to put our faces out there.
Yep.
So we want to see your voices online.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say, because I never finish any single thought. You're welcome. Is that
ADHD?
It's my superpower.
It is. It's one of them. It's one of your superpowers.
Is that these women who have never met in person have created relationships where I've seen them support each other through divorce, cancer, death, trauma, job changes, and they've never even met. But what they've decided to do is to start to interact. They've added each other on whatever forum they're watching. They found each other on social media. And even though they've never met in person, there's these really cool communities that are building because they're deciding that they're worthy of friendships and worthy of joy and worthy of happiness. And we hope to take a stand for you guys in that. So
because we are, and we as women are incredible. We are the heartbeat of the world. And when we get together, it's just more and more powerful. And now we have this amazing opportunity to bring women from all over together. And that's what is amazing too. So yeah.
I love it.
I love it too.
Oh my gosh.
I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you. I love your guts.
I love your guts. You're going to hear that a lot. Today I am grateful for, I just got to do you again. I'm just so grateful for finding a human who I feel like doesn't just match my light, but it's me all day long. And
thank you, because they were going to start to go, and then
and you know, when you are a mom in your 40s and you get to expand your tribe with someone who you trust to show up to life with joy despite the chapters, that's it can be a challenging thing. It's a really big deal for me. So I'm so grateful for you.
I'm so grateful for you too. I'm so grateful for you for so many reasons. The same reasons you just said, but I'm just so grateful for the way that you show up as a person, especially for me in my life. I mean, I don't know if I've ever felt safer in a space with another human being. You know what I mean? I just feel like when I'm here, I'm home, and that no matter what I say, what I do, how I act, how my kids act, how my husband acts, it's accepted. We are accepted and that is just a gift that you give me that I don't think I've ever had before.
I love you so much.
And I love that you are doing all of this for us, because it's all you right now. And you're just really, thank you for doing this for us and for me.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. It's not just accepting, by the way, it's embracing. It's not just accepting, it's embracing and loving you guys for who you are.
Yeah.
So
it's embracing.
Yeah.
Right, it is an embrace.
All right, you guys, we love you. Mature-ish, mama. We are so mature today. A little bit of the ish. Next time we're gonna be all fucking ish, and we're not gonna be mature at all.
It's gonna be all fucking ish. Because we got a lot to share about that too.
Welcome to ish, mamas. They'll be like, what is that? That's gonna be another shirt. Just ish, mamas.
Ish mamas.
Man, our merch is getting lit. You guys are probably thinking they have this plan. They have a bunch of merch behind them. They're about to pull it out. We don't. Oh, good.
There he is.
Yay.
Love your guts.
Love your guts. Can you go say love your guts? Here, say it into mommy's mic.
Right here, baby.
Say it right into that.
Say, I love your guts.
I love you guys.
All right, you guys. We love you so much.
Go forward, spread your light, and go blow on a lady.
Until next time. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.